4:15 a.m. I get out of bed fully clothed, shoes on, ready to make photography, like a camera hanging around my neck. This is followed up by 45 minutes of deep meditation and 45 minutes of yoga and then 45 minutes of weightlifting and then a cold shower followed by a cup of black coffee. This is the morning routine of a creative professional. That's not how it goes. I can't stand videos like that. In reality, I wake up probably around 8:30. Sometimes I wake up around 9, depending on how late I was up the night before. You see, for me, I get creative in the morning and at night. So a lot of nights I'm up late. Then from there, I make myself some breakfast. Sometimes I make the breakfast and then I eat it right away. Sometimes I make it and then I go on my run and eat the breakfast afterwards. While I'm eating my breakfast, I usually answer some emails, work on some merch designs, just kind of computer office stuff. You see, the first half of my day as a freelance photographer, it's usually always the same. It's pretty routine. What up, y'all? Yo, check this out. I got the first draft of the new book back. We'll talk about this in a second. Came out crazy. But today I'm taking you through one day in my life as a freelance photographer. Now, here is the #1 benefit to any freelance career. I have control over my time. If I want to stay up late, I can. If I want to stay in bed till 9 o'clock, I can. If I want to work 5 hours in the morning, 5 hours at night, guess what? Your boy can. That is the best part of freelance versus a standard 9 to 5 job. At that job, you go there 9 to 5. If you don't have anything to do, guess what? You're still at that job. Where me, I can go do whatever I want during the times I don't have anything to do. So that's the good part. The bad part, you're grinding, you're hustling, you're responsible for making all your money for your business, for your family, for your life, for your livelihood. And in reality, you typically end up working more than 40 hours a week, but it's okay because this is my passion. This is what I love to do. So in today's video, I want to show you what a real day in my life looks like. Not this over dramatic, over beautified thing that you'd see on YouTube. I'm going to show you what this grind looks like, what we're really doing, what I'm trying to do to build this career for myself, so I have the opportunities and the resources to do all the really cool things that you might see in my vlogs or in other people's videos. The dream, essentially. You get to the dream by having days like today. So I briefly covered my morning routine. That's basically what I do every single day. That's probably the only part of my schedule that's uniform. And then during the week, I have some days where I'm going out and actually working in the field. I'm shooting all day. And then I have some days where I'm editing all day, either here or at my office. And that's not gonna make an interesting video, so we're not gonna have a day like that. Today is one of those days where I have so much stuff to shoot, and that's why I thought it'd be good to bring y'all along. So check it out. We got a lot of work to still do with this. Mainly I gotta figure out the cover and some text stuff, but yo, check this out. I used a cheaper paper, kind of like a matte paper, not a standard, but not a photo paper. So it's gonna keep the cost per unit down, which I'm very excited about. I just gotta add some details, like some text pages and some different things. I gotta work with the designer, and then this will be ready to go. While I finish getting myself ready, I want to thank the sponsor on today's video, Audible. I'll catch y'all in a little while at Epitome for the start of this photography day. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring today's video. Use my link, audible.com/EvanRanft, or text EvanRanft to 500-500 to get a free audiobook, 2 Audible originals, and a 30-day free trial. So time is a valuable thing. Who said that quote? Was it like Shakespeare or something? I don't know. If you're anything like me or most of the people I know in my life, time is the most valuable resource you have. And let's be honest, reading is usually at the bottom of my priority list with what I want to do with my time. That is where Audible comes into play. Audible allows you to listen to audiobooks anywhere and take advantage of these moments in your day where time is there, but you can't just sit down and physically read a book. Things like your commute, things like your morning run, things like that time in the morning where you're just sitting around drinking some coffee. With my Audible credit this month, I'm listening to the audiobook What Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast. Today we're talking about a day in my life as a freelance photographer, so hey, there might be some really important stuff in this book that I'm not doing right now. And y'all know I want to be the most successful person I can, and I can tell you this, most successful people I know, they listen to audiobooks, and that is where Audible comes into play. Start bettering your life now. And the great thing about Audible, if you don't use a monthly credit on an audiobook, let's say you get busy, it rolls over to the next month. They never expire. So use my link, audible.com/EvanRanft, or text EvanRanft to 500-500 to get a free audiobook, 2 Audible originals, and that 30-day free trial. Now, back back to the vlog. So y'all remember how I had that popped tire? Replaced the tire with some, what are these? Cooper Discovery ST Max, and I also put the Method Racing wheels on there. One of the reasons I bought the FJ Cruiser is because I wanted to do all the awesome modifications that you can do to an FJ Cruiser. So we're gonna turn this thing into a weekend warrior step by step. This is part one. Stay tuned for FJ upgrades part two. But the first thing that I gotta do today is any of my client work. So if this happens to be your first video, Epitome ATL is a client that I've worked with basically for the last few years. If you want the story of how that came to be, I'll link that video in the description on this one. But basically we have a model in there, Toby. He has an hour and a half to shoot today, which means I need to hurry. We have, I think, 3 or 4 looks that we gotta shoot. So I'm gonna run inside, figure out exactly what the deal is. I'll let you know what we end up doing. Client work with Epitome is complete, so let me explain to you how this shoot went down. So let's talk about how this shoot at Epitome went. Decided to come up here just because it's a little bit more quiet. So I got in, Toby had 2 outfits in Adidas Y3. What I did basically with the first outfit, there were so many different details. I started with more moody full body shots and moved on to detail shots. And pretty much anytime I work with a model, the way I do it is I tell them just pose what you think's natural, stand straight, straight to your side, whatever it is, and then I just coach them throughout. So a lot of times with Toby, I would tell them, hey, move your foot a little bit like this, shift your hips, shift your shoulders to show more of a logo, but no real high level coaching or anything like that. I don't believe in that. I think you should let the model do what they know is going to look good for them, and then you just help them showcase the product in the best way. So from there, we went and shot the white outfit. I tried a few different things there, and I didn't like the first 2 things that I tried. Moved on and found a white wall, and actually worked really well with the cream color of that fit. And then we had a few other like random little t-shirts to shoot, shot those much quicker in random spots. Switched over to the 85mm. I was using the 35mm f1.4 before. I switched to the 85 to give those photos a different vibe from the ones we shot on the 35mm, kind of to separate the 2 campaigns. Most of them we just did waist up shots to highlight the t-shirt so he wouldn't have to change his shoes over and over again. The one shot that we didn't do that with was the t-shirt that had some camo on the bottom, I believe, and then his shoes were like an olive color, so we could showcase the CDG shoes to match the t-shirt. And hopefully if someone sees that in email or on social media, they'd consider buying both as opposed to just one. So that right there accounted for about 4.5 hours of work on the day. 4.5 hours of shooting and editing is pretty taxing on my brain, and I usually finish feeling pretty worn out. See, working in the office is way easier on you mentally. You're just answering emails, you're just doing mindless stuff, whereas shooting, you're actually focused the entire time on what you're making, what's happening in front of the camera, what's happening in the camera, and then with editing, you obviously have to pay attention as well. So now I'm headed to meet up with an Atlanta videographer named Marco Hernandez. Remember the other night we went out to shoot at the Varsity and I made a bunch of night photos? Well, he posted on Instagram that he got inspired by those photos and filmed this crazy awesome cinematic clip there. So he hit me up after he made that video, said, hey, if you want to shoot something this week, let me know. I said, why not? And we are here now. I'm meeting up with him. I'm looking for him. I don't know where he's at. What up, man?
What up, man? How you doing?
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hopefully you're comfortable. All right, so this is the first time I've met Marco. He is an Atlanta videographer, like I said. We're gonna just try to come up with a 15-second ridiculous clip. That's our goal. He's got his drone with him. This is kind of like an ugly location challenge, if you want to call it that. Make sure you check him out on Instagram, Mavic 2.
Mavic 2 Pro.
Maybe I'll walk through the middle there. I promise the clip is going to play in a minute. Marco is up there directing me. We're getting a shot where I walk across the street right now. He's right there. The drone's right there. Pretty awesome to meet Marco today. Like I said, that was the first time I met him. Probably would have worked just to go get a cup of coffee and chat or something like that, but hey, that's not how we do. But now we are headed into Midtown. I'm gonna get out to shoot for just a little while of that. I'm trying to keep my style a little bit more consistent in my creative work. So, you know, like the stuff I post on Instagram and Twitter, I've been having a dark, moody theme a lot lately, and I'm trying to stick to that. And obviously if we shoot outside, it's It's not very dark or very moody. It's actually very beautiful out here today. So we're gonna go to a train station where it's dark, where there's a lot of lines, a lot of interesting light. Everything today so far, it's been the business side of things, and now this is more of the creative, personal time where I'm shooting more for myself. So about an hour down in the train station, went up a train station, came back. Not the best night ever, not the worst night ever. I'm not 100% sure if I have anything I really like. I'll have to check when I get home. Sometimes I leave knowing, yo, this is gonna be the shot. Today's not one of those days, but it's just how it goes. You gotta go out and do it to get the result you want in the first place. So I'm pretty tired at this point. Like, long day. Last stop on the day is to buy some peanut butter because I ran out. This has been one of my days in my life as a freelance photographer. Like I said, days vary a lot. Today was a busy day. If you want me to make more of these videos, do another series on this where my day is different, let me know in the comments. Y'all are the truth. Thank you. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe. See y'all next time.